Yep, it's all working. Very good. All right. First thing first, we'll talk about the homework assignment first. Sorry?
I tried to submit it, but I couldn't do it.
It closes by 5:30.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
did it before because I couldn't do it at home, so I went
Uh-huh.
to
The lab?
and I still couldn't do it.
Okay. Well, I can't do anything about it now because I have to get started with the class. All right. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started with the homework assignment. Do you guys have any questions about the homework? No? It's all good? No questions? I don't need to go over it? Are you guys sure? Well, out of a class of, theoretically 34 students, 23 are, there are 23 submissions. So that's a little bit lower than what I expected. About 2/3 of the class is 20 and something. So I'll go ahead and, do the homework assignment and explain, step by step, how it is done. I think there might be a few places where, it can be confusing. So I will try to go over those particular points. Do you guys have any questions? Because I can hear you. If I can hear you, the rest of the class can also hear you, and that's kind of distracting. Okay? Thank you. Okay. I need to create a new folder for this class. 2010, 1020. All right. So let's go ahead and get started with the homework. Did anyone encounter any problems doing this homework? The concepts? No?
Okay. But I figured it out.
Okay, well that's good. That's exactly what a homework is supposed to do, is to make sure that you know how to.
I figured it out after that we do those.
Oh, but that's still good. That's that's better than after the second exam. Yep. So that is still good. So the homework still did what it's supposed to. All right. Well, I'm just waiting for Open Office to start up. There are some questions, not from this class, but a student from the Friday class, which is at about the same point as this class, has a question about nested loops, because this is the first time we see a triple nested loop, a loop inside another loop inside another loop. So one of the questions was, how do we track something like that? And we'll go ahead and take a look, because I really want to make sure people understand how to keep track of a loop inside another loop inside another loop. And the worst part of this is we have a pre-checking loop containing a post-checking loop, which contains another pre-checking loop. So that can get a little bit confusing. And we'll go ahead and, once the system starts up, we'll take a look and find out. That's from another class. So we'll go ahead and save and get rid of this one. Doesn't want to save it. It's still loading. The LED is blinking. It seems to be really slow today for some reason.
Class? What's the other class for just basic hardware?
It's the same hardware as
Oh,
usual.
no, I mean like for this class that's in here. Like
Oh, this class? This is for cisp300, which is Introduction to Computer Science. And we were talking about hardware, and I thought the best way to introduce hardware was to go to newegg.com and just pretend that we are going to put a system together, and those are the components that we talked about in that class. Okay, so let's go to today's folder. And open up the spreadsheet. really is awfully slow today. All right, well, finally. And let's see, we want to resize this a little bit. There we go. Okay, so the first thing we want to do is to analyze, for this class we don't have a loop inside another loop. You guys actually got a easier homework assignment than the other class. So that's nice. The other class has got a triple loop, set up because they have to fill up an array with prime numbers, which is, something that I think, did we talk about that in this class? Yep, okay. So the other class actually got that one as a homework assignment as opposed to this one. Okay, so, but with this one, we still have, constructs contained within constructs. The first line and the last line indicates this entire program is one single conditional statement. But inside the conditional statement, we have a loop here, and inside this loop, we have another conditional statement. So we still have three levels of embedding, embedded construct. It's just not, three levels of loop, which means, tracing this would not take as long as in the other homework assignment. Are there any questions about, how the code is set up? No questions? Okay. Yep, go ahead.
You have, the whole if and else thing is only supposed to run once, right? But because you have it in the pre-check thing, it runs once, right?
Well, when we get to it, we'll see. But in this case, in your case, you have three traces instead of one. The other class only has one trace to perform. So from that perspective, you guys have to do just a little bit more than the other class. But it's not really that much more, especially the last one. Let's go ahead and do the easy one first. Okay, the last one is the easiest one. We set up everything. Everything is unknown except for n. N in this case is defined to be 17. And we start execution on line 1. Line 1 is the beginning of a conditional statement. The condition is asking is n is less than 16. Is that true or is that false? It's false. Very good.